Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to see all of you. And wow, I was so inspired with our praise team. There's this exuberance and inspiration in my heart just seeing everyone worshiping and praising the Lord. We were called to serve here at Glendale. That was 1995. So one more year, that's 30 years, right? I want to show you at least two slides. This is our family now. The tallest one, that's Keone. So he was still in his crib, right? When we were doing the praise team. And our youngest, Kevin, he got born in LA. And a recent picture, not a recent picture. This was in 2019, so we have Keone, Keanu, and Kevin. Keanu is in Honolulu. He's serving in the United States Air Force. And Kevin also, he's in Nebraska. He's also serving in the U.S. Air Force also. And Keone is with us. You can check him on YouTube, Reps to the Rhythm. He can assist you in fitness exercise. Now that's what he does. He has like 200,000 subscribers. And most of them are here from the United States. So this is what we're doing now. We're just conducting seminar workshops on mental health to different organizations. And it's what I do full-time in the Philippines. And many times I get invited outside of the Philippines, just like at this time. So I'll be sharing with you the 7 essentials to living your best life. I wonder what that best life is. That could be your question in your mind. Probably I'd be able to tackle 2 this morning and another 2 this afternoon. You have to invite me again for the last 3. Okay, so living your best life, let's see what it is. First, I want to ask you if you love God very much. Raise your hand. If you love Him really, really deep down in your heart, 2 hands, please. And if you super duper love Him with a loud amen. Amen. Wow. God heard that, okay? Now, look at the slide. What does it say? Our love for God is measured by the love that we have for whom? For the person we love the least. So you look for the person you hate the most. The person you don't want to have anything to do with. That is the measure of our claim as to how much we love God. It's not how loud our amen is. It's not how loud our praise is. It's how much you love the person which you don't want to have anything to do with. Because the Bible says, whatever you've done to the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. If you have a sure spot in heaven, just imagine, okay? Imagine, you have a guaranteed spot in heaven. Now, the person you hate the most, if his only chance to get into heaven is to give up your spot, will you give up your spot? Think about that, okay? You have a guaranteed mansion in heaven. And there's this person you hate the most. But if his only chance to get to know God is to sacrifice your mansion, are you going to sacrifice your mansion? That is what Moses did. Moses said, God, if you're going to abandon Israel, erase my name from the book of life. The greatest treasure in the heart of Moses is not paradise. It's for people to get to know God for who He really is. Don't worry if you have to sacrifice your mansion in heaven, because you'll end up in heaven. Because that's where God brings people who's got His Spirit. So when we're talking about your best life, this would be the fruits of the Spirit. This would be loving your enemy. This would be a supreme love and happiness for truth, for who God is. This is an overflow of happiness. That is at least what the best life is. And if we use like mental health terminology, that would be optimal mental health, that would be unstoppable, overflowing, authentic happiness, that would be stress mastery or emotional resilience, that would be rock solid relationships, that would be a life that flourishes. So whether you use spiritual terms or mental health terms, it's all about the more abundant life. And it's what God wants you to experience. It's what God wants us to enjoy while we are here on earth. But how is that going to happen? So I'll share a few of the skill sets, the mindsets, the principles, or the tools that will help us to truly love the person who has hurt us the most, the person who has caused us the deepest pain. What are the mindsets? What are the principles so that we can live this best life which we are talking about, okay? Many times I share this for like 3 days, 3 full days, but we have only 30 minutes, right? So let's see what we can learn in a few minutes, but at least it's an introduction of the mindsets and of the principles that we need because they are truly fundamental. Here's the first one. It's about our essence. It's about our identity. It's about our worth. It's about our dignity. It's about our value. But what is it about us that is very important to understand? So I will go past these slides because we will be reaching up to 2 o'clock if I use this one. I'll go to the story right away. See what you're missing? Okay, let's start here. All right. You've been to Thailand? A beautiful place? I want to visit Thailand. But I'll share with you a story, a true story, okay? So you have this Buddha statue, and it's a giant one. It's sitting, but can you imagine how tall it is? How tall is it? 10 feet. Can you see the people? Yeah? They're just small compared to the statue. So it's 10 feet high, and how heavy is it? 5,000 kilograms. That's really heavy, right? And it's made of solid gold. And how much is it? In today's currency, it's about $250 million. Okay, now 200 years ago, this statue was in a temple. And the Burmese army are about to attack. And so the monks, they were all afraid, they were all fearful they might take away this statue away from them. So what they did, they covered it with clay 12 inches all around. It still looks like a Buddha statue, but you have this plaster 12 inches thick. So if you look at the Buddha, you can't see the gold. You can see anything that shines. And they did it not only on the head, they did it with the whole body. So when the Burmese army arrived, this is all they saw. And said they took all the diamonds and all the treasures and all the gold. And when they saw the statue, did they take the statue with them? They didn't. They left it alone because it looked so ordinary. But they killed all the monks. All the priests were dead. So no one knew what was inside. And so for the next, how many years? 200 years. People would just walk past by the statue. Sometimes they won't even glance at it. There's no amazement. There is no wonder and a look of marvel because all they see is an ordinary statue. Until in 1955, they found a place for a new temple. And so everything was moved. And when they look at the statue, they thought, they were thinking, are we going to bring this to the new temple? And they said, oh, it's got historical value. Let's bring it with us. And so this was the actual cables or rope. They tied it around, and this was the pulley. They got a crane, okay? And because they thought it was just made of dirt, this is an easy job. right? But when they started yanking it, what happened to the rope? It snapped, got cut off. And so what happened to the statue? It fell to the ground. What happened to the plaster? It broke to pieces. And for the first time, after 200 years, people found out it was made of what? Solid gold. And it's no longer the same how people look at it. It's now with amazement and marvel, and people are just in awe and inspired with this 10-foot solid gold Buddha statue. Only because they found what it was really made of. So say they took away everything, they cleaned it up, and if you go to Thailand now, you have to fall in line and you have to pay to see this marvel. Why did I share this short story with you? Let's read the slide, please. No one is born made of inferior substance. You're not rust. Oh, that must become gold. You are gold who needs to discover you are. Hindi ka kalawang, kailangan maging ginto. Ginto ka na. Kailangan lang madiscover mo. Ginto ka na pala. Okay? So, we have this very familiar verse. What does it say in Psalm 139 and verse 14? Together? I am miraculously and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. Just from one verse, what is it saying about you? You're a miracle. You're a marvel. And what else? You're a wonder. That's how God made you. Because all human beings, according to Genesis 1, we were all made in the image of God. We were all made in the likeness of God. And not only that, you're also loved. You're not only loved, you're also valued beyond compare. So if we ask the question, who are you? And we'll get the answers from God. This is what we have. So please repeat after me. I'm a miracle. I'm a wonder. I'm a marvel. I am lovable beyond compare. I am valuable beyond all price. And nothing will ever change that. That is the truth about who you are. So there's who you are and there's who you think you are. And if this is not in your mind, okay, then your thoughts are not congruent with the truth, and that is where our suffering comes from. Now, if a baby is already a miracle in the womb, so what's in the womb? A miracle, a wonder, a marvel, right? Okay? So from the womb, we have a miracle. If it's a miracle inside and it goes outside, what went outside? A miracle, right? Now, it started crawling. What do you call that? A crawling miracle. Okay. Now it starts talking or babbling. What do you call that? A talking miracle. It starts walking. What do you call that? Walking miracle. Starts running. What do you call that? And then it falls. What do you call that? Okay. A miracle that stumbled or fell. Now, this miracle reaches high school and started mixing with what they call that? They call it the wrong crowd, right? And gets into this harmful substances and lost his or her way. Now, what do you call that? A lost miracle, but still a what? A miracle. So our being a wonder, a miracle, and a wonder from our very first heartbeat up to the last one, it remains. It stays. It is permanent. It is unalterable. But here's my question. When did your mother call you last? When did you remember being called a miracle? Do you remember somebody calling you a miracle? When you wash the dishes, right? Oy, mala, nagugas ng plato. My wife calls me a miracle when I take a bath. Uy, mala, naligo. So we use the word miracle to refer to a person when it's linked or when it's associated with an accomplishment or an achievement that is like amazing. But without that achievement, we only see the person as someone ordinary. But as human beings, just as you are, you're already of incomparable worth. You are already of a value that is inestimable. Because you were made in the image of God. Because you were made in the likeness of God. So in the womb, right? Because you don't have your cognitive faculties developed yet. So you don't have thoughts. You don't have any comprehension as to who you really are. But it's already true that from the womb, you're a miracle. But growing up, what do people call you? Huh? Oh, you're dumb. You're stupid. You're selfish. You're good for nothing. You're the son of the devil. And all this gets captured, gets stored, and gets imprinted in our memory, and it becomes part of our neurophysiology. So when we're asked, who are you? Oh, I don't really matter. I'm not important. Because we don't know, okay? We have not encountered who we really are. Just like that golden Buddha, there's this value inside, but it's hidden. So it's very important that we learn this tool, that we learn this skill, that we learn this competency to get connected to that which is absolutely miraculous and marvelous and wonderful about us. That is number one. Like, so if someone's going to gift you a gift, you like a gift? We like gifts, right? But if we have the choice of a brand new gift or a used one, which would you prefer? The brand new one, a clean one, or a dirty one laden with bacteria? Oh, a clean one, a fragrant one, or a foul-smelling one? Of course, we want the brand new, the clean, and the fragrant, right? But then I share with many audiences, like if you have a brand new $20 bill and it's crisp and it's clean and it's fragrant, wow, you like it, right? But if I give you a $100 bill, but it's already old and it's crumpled and it's stained and it's dirtied and it's muddied and it's foul smelling, so what do you want? A brand new $20 or a crumpled $100? Oh, I thought you liked the brand new, the clean, and the fragrant. Okay, so it's okay to get one that's dirty and foul smelling and old, right? Because we know the $100, right? Even though it got crumpled, what is its value? Still $100. It has not diminished one bit. So it's very important to understand, right? You may have been dirty, but you're not what? You're not dirty. You may have been stained, but you're not a stain. You may have been discarded, but you are not a throwaway. In the heart of God, in the eyes of God, you are valued beyond imagination. And whatever you do, whatever you've done, whatever you've experienced, that is always the truth. That is who you are in truth. And so, if you can have, this is recorded anyways, right? But if you can have a screenshot of this, right? And you just always, at least every single day, you remind yourself, Lord, thank you. I am a miracle. I am a wonder. I am a marvel. I am lovable and valuable, and nothing will ever change that. You failed your exams, you're still a miracle. Somebody hurts you, you're still a miracle. You lost your way, you're still a miracle. Nothing will ever change that. So you can wake up every morning grateful, inspired, amazed, not only for the truth that God is, but for the truth of who you are in Him. A very important tool, a very important mindset. Okay? Now, we're going to add something to that. Let's read this line by line together. Ready, go. My existence is phenomenal. My worth is inestimable. My value is undiminishable. My significance is inherent. My dignity is unassailable. My essence cannot be harmed. My identity cannot be threatened. There is nothing that can happen on planet Earth that can diminish your value one bit, because it's grounded on the transcendence of God. It's grounded on the immutability of God. So for as long as God is God, you will always be infinitely precious. Because you're made in His image and you were redeemed at infinite cost. But many times, okay, what happens, we forget that. So we just keep on showing slides that show us different angles of this, okay, together. Despite my wrong decisions, failures, sins, and mistakes, I remain a miracle, a wonder, a marvel, lovable, and valuable. But I've sinned, right? But here is the truth. Together, although we have become entirely unworthy because of our failures and sins, we have not become what? Worthless one bit. If we're not careful, we think being unworthy and worthless are the same thing. But they're worlds apart. We have become unworthy. We have become undeserving. We're no longer entitled to the favors of God. But we have not become worthless. The worth is the same. The worth of Adam and Eve before the fall is the same worth after the fall. The only difference is that because of sin, we're no longer worthy. But we're not worthless. We remain valuable. And not only that, maybe you've done something wrong, but others may have done something wrong against us. A heinous crime. Something that you might consider disgusting. But whatever happened to you, take a look at the slide. Despite my offenders' injustices committed against me, I remain a miracle, a wonder, a marvel, lovable, and valuable. So whether it's something that you've done or whether it's something others have done against you, doesn't matter. Nothing can diminish your worth. Nothing can take away your value. The lost sheep, when it got lost, did it transform into a wolf? Still a sheep, right? But a lost sheep. The coin, when it was no longer on the cabinet and it's lying in the rubbish, what kind of metal was it? Still silver. Just a lost silver coin. Definitely, we need character transformation, but we will never, ever need worth transformation. You are as valuable as you can ever be. That is our worth. So we have two columns, okay? Two columns. We have innate features. That is, as soon as you became a human being, that's already true of you. Innate, inherent, or intrinsic. And that would be you being a miracle, a wonder, a marvel, loved beyond compare, valued above all price, made in God's image. You're bought at infinite cost. You have undiminishable worth. So whether you know this or not, whether you feel this or not, whether you understand it or not, it's already true of you. You believe it, not in order for it to become true of you. It's already true of you. Why not believe it? So that's innate. That's inherent. That is already true of you as soon as you became a human being. But we have what we call acquired features. These describe you, but they do not define you. Because there was a time you didn't have them. Okay? Unlike the inherent features. So your behavior, whether it's saintly or evil, your attainment, your achievements, whether you're a graduate or a dropout, you're a CEO, an employee, jobless, rich, poor, homeless, thin, obese, ill, healthy, whether you're a dem, a rep, a cis, a gay, etc., atheist, Christian, all of this happened after. Okay? When you were in the womb, you don't have any of those acquired features. So example, all the moms, please raise your hands. Mothers. Okay. Are mothers important? Definitely. Absolutely, right? But here's the question, mothers. When you were still in the womb of your mom, were you already a mother? You were not a mother yet in the womb? Not yet, right? When did you become a mother? When you gave birth, right? So there was a time that you were not a mother. So if the basis of your worth is that role of a mother, right? You get your importance, you get your significance, you get your value because you're a mom. The role is important, but it's not the basis of your value. Because there was a time when you were not a mother, but you were already infinitely important. So these acquired features, right? Even though they are important to us, they are not what defines. What defines us is what God says about us. Okay, so if you need to practice, I'm a miracle, I'm a wonder, and I'm a marvel, we also have to practice what we are not. Because here's the problem. Even though there's nothing wrong with acquired features, many times we have over-identified ourselves with these features, and we think that's where our value is. So when they're taken away from us, we spiral into a crisis. And we get truly miserable because what we think makes us important is not there anymore. Okay, so let's read this line by line. Okay, ready, go. I am not my name. I am not my job. I am not my roles. I am not my behavior. I am not my performance. I am not my achievements. I am not my position. I am not my economic status. I am not what happened to me. I am not my past. I am not my appearance. I'm not the shape, state, or condition of my body. I'm not my medical condition. I am not my age. I am not my preferences. I'm not my likes or dislikes. I am not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. I'm not my story. I am not who I think I am. I am not who others think I am. Then who am I? Together. I am a miracle. I am who God says I am. I am a miracle, I'm a wonder, I'm a marvel, I'm lovable, I'm valuable, and nothing will ever change that. Why is this important? Because you cannot consistently behave in a way that is inconsistent with the way you perceive yourself. Even if you want to change, even if you want to grow, even if you want to have a self-transformation, if there is no change as to who you really are that is congruent with the truth, after your New Year's resolution, just wait for 1-2 days and you fall back into your old behavior. And why is that? Because there's no neural pathway. There's no neurological hardware that has been installed in order to support new behavior. If we don't remind ourselves every single day, I am a miracle. That's why in Joshua 1:8 it says, and this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it, how often? Day and night. So day and night, you meditate, I'm a miracle. I'm a marvel. I am a wonder. And nothing will ever change that. So what is this competency for the best life? What is this competency for the more abundant life? It is being radically amazed with, what else? Deeply grateful for, and celebrating the truth of your phenomenal, inestimable, and intrinsic worth as a human being that is what? Independent of your position, status, possessions, achievements, career, looks, or skills. Because all those can be taken away from you at any time. So if you know your worth apart from your looks, apart from your status, apart from your position, even if these are taken away, you can wake up every morning and say, this is a day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it because today I'm a miracle. I'm a marvel. I am a wonder. So whatever the temperature is outside, okay, it cannot put you into misery because you know what is phenomenal and truly wonderful about you. So that's one, and that's just an introduction, okay? There's a longer version, but at least we got the gist, right? We got the summary. Like we need to have this radical amazement as to the truth of who we really are. Here's number 2. It's operating from what? From overflow, from fullness, versus operating from deficit or from neediness. Here's a beautiful verse that I truly, truly like. Ephesians 1:3. Together, please. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us in Christ with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. So we have this word blessed. Past tense, present tense, or future? Past, right? So we have been blessed with how many blessings? Every spiritual blessing. So this is not going to happen. This is not happening. This already happened. You were blessed with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places in Christ. If you look through the lens of the cross, if you look through the lens of grace, you have been blessed with every spiritual blessing. 2 Peter 1:3, together. His divine power has granted to us all things that pertain to life and godliness. So the word granted, past, present, future. Past, okay? So, you're not being granted. You will not be granted. The Bible says you've been granted. What have you been granted with? How many things? Many things? A lot of things? All things. So all things that pertain to life and godliness. All things. All things that will allow you to become a deeper lover of God and a better lover of others. All these things have already been granted to you. So, together please. You already have everything you need. You don't have everything you want, but everything you need in order for you to be the happiest person that you can be, you already have. You have already been granted and blessed with all of these blessings. I gave a talk one time, the whole day, and I was so tired. And when I got home, I was ready to hit the bed. But I have my favorite pair of shorts. So I looked around. Where's my pair of shorts? I want to wear it for sleep. Couldn't find it. Looked around. Just a small house, but couldn't find it. And so I gave up. I just have to sleep without my favorite pair of shorts. So I took off my pants. When I took off my pants, what did I discover? I was wearing it. Whoa! I've been looking around and I feel low. I was feeling low because I want this. I need this. But I didn't realize what I was looking for was what? Was there all the time. So you've been blessed. And it's possible if we don't know the truth, we are on search mode. We are on seek mode. Right? Because we're looking for something we need in order for us to become happy. But we already have everything we need. What is needed is to discover. That's why Paul said, and may God give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of Him. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know what is this immeasurably great power that is already at work in you. Here's a homeless person. Imagine you're this homeless person, and you look at your bank account, it's zero. You have a bank account, it's zero. But you have a multi-billionaire friend looking for you. And he couldn't find you because you're sleeping under the bridge, but a different bridge each night, right? But he knows your bank account number. So he sent you like $10 million into your account. So as far as your account is concerned, as far as the bank is concerned, how much do you have? 10 million, right? And so bank staff are looking for you, but they couldn't find you because you sleep under different bridges. Okay? But what do you have in your bank account? 10 million, right? So when nighttime comes, where do you sleep? Under the bridge, right? When you look for your food, where do you get your food? From the dumpsters, right? And what kind of clothes do you wear? The same clothes you wear every single day. But how much money do you have? 10 million. So it's possible. You have the wealth, right? You have the abundance, but you're not experiencing the abundance. And that is possible if we don't know what the truth is. So you're like the carpenter, and you're looking for your pencil. And where's the pencil? It's right between your ears. You're looking for your eyeglasses. And where are your eyeglasses? Oh, they've been there all the time. All right? Whoa. Wow. Okay. So when you don't know this abundance, when you're not connected to how blessed you are, right? When you don't know not only how inestimable your value is, but you don't know that you are
complete in Jesus Christ, you will be on search mode because you feel uncertain, you feel unwanted, you feel unloved, you are hurting, you feel worthless, you feel incomplete. So you have to do something to fill this hole. Right? So you are on search mode because it's a very, very painful emptiness. It's not something that you can survive. You'll get mad. So you have to do something. And when you're on that mode, in another term, we call it what? Deficit mode. Okay? Deficit mode. What is the deficit mode? It's doing activities. What else? Working hard, reaching for goals, and entering relationships in order to be happy, fulfilled, complete, significant, validated. There's nothing with what you're doing. But the motivation or the reason why you're doing it is to become whole, to become complete, to become of value, to become a happy person. It's called deficit mode. It's like saying, oh man, life sucks. Let me get a boyfriend or a girlfriend so that I'll be a happy person. So you enter a relationship in order to become happy, in order to become complete, okay? But unlike the other mode, okay, it's called the overflow mode. Before the boyfriend, before the promotion, before the girlfriend, before the relationship, before anything external has changed, there is already this overflow of joy and meaning and passion and purpose, and we call this the overflow mode. So look at the difference. Let's read the difference. Doing activities, working hard, reaching targets, and entering relationships from an overflow of inner joy, love, security, wholeness, and passion. It's like saying, wow, there's this abundance, there's this overflow of love and joy. I just want to be in a relationship because I have so much to share. You're not getting into the relationship in order to become happy because you're already happy. Very, very happy because you know your purpose, you know your direction, you know what your life is all about, and you know you're a miracle, and you're just excited to be in a relationship because there is so much to share to others. So it's overflow mode. But just like what Jerry Maguire said, okay, his famous quote or his famous line, he said, "You complete me." When you're on deficit mode, okay, we may not be aware of it, but this is what we're saying. You complete me. Okay, so if you do the karaoke and you sing "Kulang Ako Kung Wala Ka," that's a deficit mode song, right? Even though you have 100 as your score, or if you sing this by, is this Basil Valdez, right? And you go to the chorus, "'Cause it's you who fills the emptiness in me," right? We call it love, but it's neediness. You need the person in order to become a happy person, in order to be a full person. So just like this donut with a hole, okay, what does the donut say? I feel empty inside. No happiness, no fulfillment, no passion for life. Why wake up in the morning? For what purpose? And then the donut sees sees who? Huh? What do you call those? The munchkin, right? So the donut sees the munchkin and says, "Oh, finally, I met someone who completes me." And the donut says, "You complete me." And this munchkin says, "Oh, I am loved. I am valued. I am important." And does not realize he or she is only a what? A fill-in? Okay, yung panakip butas lang. But we call that love, right? It's not love. Because true love is when you're on overflow and you get into relationships, not in order to use the other person to make you happy. Okay? Because sometimes we use drugs to become happy. But this is even worse. We use people to become happy because we're coming from deficit. We are coming from emptiness. And you go to social media, you go shopping, you look for a pillowcase, and you see this from Amazon. You come, oh, this is so cute. Let's buy this, right? But what's the message? You complete me. You buy your couple shirts. Oh, look at this. It says soulmate. See, when we're side by side, the heart is complete. And you buy your sweatshirts or your jackets or your hoodies, and it says, she's my better half. And what does the other shirt say? He's my other half. If your husband or your wife is your other half, what does that make you? The other half, right? So when he or she leaves, what is left? A whole? Something complete? No, just a half, right? And so we don't know where this came from. Like she's my better half. God did not make you half a person. God made you complete. God made you whole. Okay, but somehow our culture says you're not complete until you find a soul mate. So this is the math of true love. What's the math of true love? Together, one happy, healthy, whole person plus one happy, healthy, whole person equals what? One happy, healthy, whole relationship. Okay, so it's 1 plus 1 equals 1. Meaning, an unhappy, empty, single person will be a what? An unhappy, empty, married person. There's no magic in marriage. Right? An angry, bitter, single person will be an angry, bitter, married person. Happiness is the fruit of maturity, which is not dependent on relationship status. So it's very important that before we get into a relationship, or if we're already in a relationship, we get to find out what this overflow is, what this abundance is. You already have everything you need. Okay. Why are these here again? And let's read this one. Okay. I like this. Together, happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we do have. Because what you have, okay, is all you need in order to become the happiest person that you can be. Happiness will never come to those who don't appreciate what they already have. But the sad thing is, for many people, they don't know what it is really that they have. It has not been discovered yet. So let me end with this picture. What do you see on the left side? It's a donut with a giant hole. And what do you see on the right side? It's a buffet table, right? A buffet table. Now, there will be a change, there will be a transformation, there will be a paradigm shift from a donut with a giant hole to an overflowing buffet table if you get to know the truth. So here's the example. Imagine you're a buffet table. Okay? Imagine. Can you imagine that? You are a buffet table. So what's on a buffet table? You have unlimited entree, right? You have unlimited food, unlimited dessert, unlimited drinks, unlimited rice. You have everything, unlimited. So if you are a buffet table and you're overflowing with all these goods, and somebody leaves you, somebody abandons you, whose loss is it? The person who left, the person who abandoned you. But who's the one crying? Many times we're the ones crying because we are using that person for our happiness. So when that person leaves, it's the end of the world. Because you forget you're a miracle, you're a wonder, you're a marvel, you're lovable and valuable, and you are complete. And you're in a relationship to become a blessing, not to use another person in order to become full or complete or happy. There will be unpleasant feelings, right? But you are unhappy or sad for the other person. You pray he or she finds what true abundance is. And all this, so we have 2, right? There's 5 more. We'll continue this afternoon. Maybe we'll be able to tackle another 2. And then we'll have part 3 maybe next year. Let's find out. But this is all because of the grace of God. And so we're just thankful for His love. I want to share with you a final quote. It's no longer on the slide. And the quote says, "To the death of Christ, we owe even this earthly life. The bread we eat is the purchase of His broken body, and the water we drink is bought by His spilled blood. Never one, saint or sinner, eats his daily food, but he is nourished by the body and the blood of Christ." So all this good news we have heard, who we are in the truth, and what we have in the truth, this is all because of the sacrifice of Jesus. They are all gifts of the cross, so that we may have the ability, we may have the capacity, we may have the opportunity to come home, to know God, and enjoy Him for who He really is. I'd like to invite you to a prayer. Let's bow our heads, please. Our God in heaven, we are in awe of your grace. We're in awe of your truth. We are in awe of your word. Lord, even in this very, very short time, you have inspired us with your Spirit, with your holy presence. Father, may we take this opportunity to connect with you, to be with you, to enjoy your presence, and to enjoy your love. Your heads are bowed, your eyes are closed. As we sing and as we listen to this song, may God find an open heart inside of you, wanting Him above all and loving Him above all. Thank you, Father. Through your grace, all of us can come home.
To the Father, though your gift is small, broken hearts, broken eyes, He can take them all. The power of the word, the power of His blood, everything was done so you would. To the hearts, broken eyes, He can take them all. The power of the Word, the power of His blood, everything was done so You would come.
The power of the Word, the power of His blood, everything was done so You would come.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are you ready? We're going to continue a bit about the abundance mindset and the abundance mode. Okay? So when you're going to clean your car, usually what do you need? You need soap, water, and of course you have this thing. What do you call that thing? The sponge, right? Okay. So imagine you have a sponge, and then we have this tub of water. Is there lots of water? It's overflowing, right? Okay, it's overflowing. A tub with overflowing water. Now, you get your sponge, and then you put it inside the overflowing tub, right? Okay. And so you do this like 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you pull it up and then you squeeze it. What's going to happen when you squeeze it? A lot of water comes out, right? Okay? So obviously that is what is going to happen. Now what if you get this piece of rock, but you still have the same tub, same amount of water, a lot of water, but now you don't have a sponge. What you have is this rock, okay? And you're going to dip it also in the tub, but not for 5 seconds. You do it like, let's do it, all right? You put it in the tub for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Then you pull it out, and then you squeeze it. What's going to come out? Nothing. Was there no water in the tub? There was lots of water in the tub. Was there less time in the tub? It's 5 years in the tub, right? But how come when you squeezed it, no water came out? Huh? It's simply because, okay, the stone, this rock, does not have the property of being absorbent. So the cause is not the lack of water. It is not the time of being in the water. It's the condition, or it's the property of the rock. So what are we saying is this. In life, sometimes we see the lives of other people. Oh, they're so blessed. How come I'm not as blessed? How come some people are just having this abundant experience, overflowing experience of spiritual blessings, but it's not happening to me? And maybe we ask ourselves, if I just pray more, or if I consecrate myself more, if I meditate more, if I read the Bible more, then I will be showered more blessings. But if you look at the tub, the water in the tub, that would represent the blessings. There is no shortage of blessings. We have been blessed with every spiritual blessings. We have been granted all things that pertain to life and godliness. Everything we need has already been given. The question is, are you a sponge or are you a rock? Okay? So it's not God giving us more blessings. It's not God becoming more of a blesser, but it is us needing to become more absorbent of the blessings already surrounding us in an abundant fashion. But sometimes we think, if I just pray more, God will bless me more. But actually, this This is a quote from The Steps to Christ. I like this little book. It's also found in Messages to Young People. Let's read this together. Prayer is not to work any change in God. It is to bring us into harmony with God. So prayer does not change God. It does not make Him more loving. It does not cause Him to give you more. But it allows Him to transform you from a stone into a sponge so that you can be more absorbent of His blessings, of His love, of His presence, which is not dependent on your response to Him. That is who God is. Steps to Christ, page 93. What does it say? Prayer does not bring God down to us. It brings us up to Him. So when we pray, when we read the scriptures, when we consecrate, it's not transforming God. It's transforming us. Okay, from having stony hearts into hearts of flesh, right? Okay, hearts that are more absorbent and more receptive of the blessings of God. So we need to be prayerful. We need to be students of the scriptures. But that transforms us instead of God being transformed. So have you experienced a heavy rain? Like you're saying, oh, it's raining cats and dogs. You've experienced that? Now imagine there's this basketball court and there's you standing on this spot and another person like 10 feet away also standing, and it's raining really, really heavy. Now, is it possible you're just 10 feet apart, all right, and this other person is soaking wet, dripping wet, all immersed in this water, but you're here, just 10 feet away, but you're completely dry? Is that possible? See, it's raining, right? And it's a heavy rainfall. And that other person, it's already dripping with all the water and soaked in water, but here you are completely dry. And it's possible. It's possible when you have an umbrella, when you have a jacket, when you have a coat, right? And when you have these boots. So you're dry even though there's lots of water. So it's possible there's this downpour of blessings. Downpour of all the gifts that we need in order for us to grow and to flourish and become the people God wants us to be. But the reason that is keeping us from enjoying His blessings is that we have in us certain mindsets or beliefs or practices which are acting like the umbrella, acting like the coat, acting like the boots, and they are preventing us from enjoying the abundance that has always been there all the time. Now, you see the clothesline and you see the wind, right? Okay. Is there a lot of air inside our building right now? Is there air in our building? Enough air? Okay, let's try to make not enough air. One deep breath, please. Ready, go. Okay, so we have air. There's air around you. There's air everywhere. Now, we have a project. We're going to do a project. We're going to run so fast. And our goal is to leave air behind us. Okay, so you run as fast as you can. And when you reach the finish line, wow, air was left behind. You think you can do that? Huh? Let's try, okay? So, on your mark, ready, set, go! And you run as fast as you can. You reach the finish line. When you reach the finish line, is air still surrounding you? Maybe you did not run fast enough. Okay, so imagine you're as fast as, who's this guy? Usain Bolt. All right, you have the speed of Usain Bolt. 50 meters, on your mark, ready, set, go. When you reach the finish line, is air still surrounding you? Still. Oh, maybe we're not fast enough. How about we're as fast as the flash? Okay. like speed of light. You know how fast the speed of light is? You can circle the globe 7 times in 1 second. Okay? 7 times. 1 second. Imagine you're that fast. Okay? On your mark. Ready. Set. You reach the finish line. Is air still surrounding you? Oh, we can't leave the air, right? It's always surrounding us no matter how fast we run away from it. Same is with the grace of God. It's like the atmosphere surrounding the earth. It's there no matter how fast you run away from God. Wherever destination you reach, you open your eyes and God is there. Like you run away 1,000 feet, you run away 5,000 feet, you run away 10,000 miles. As soon as you look around, God is there. Because every step you take, God follows. God follows you. Now what if, okay, my PowerPoint got stuck and let's try. Okay, so there's air. Now imagine clamping your nose, right? If you clamp your nose for like 30 seconds or 1 minute, what's going to happen to you? You'll start getting pale, out of breath, and soon you might collapse. But is it because there's less air surrounding you? No. It's because you clamp your nose, and that prevented from you enjoying the abundance of air. And so with the grace of God. Whatever we're doing, whether we're sleeping, whether we're walking, whether we're doing good, whether we're doing what we're not supposed to do, the grace of God is constant. The grace of God is always there surrounding us. Steps to Christ, page 68. Together, please. In the matchless gift of His Son, God has encircled the whole world with an atmosphere of grace as real as the air which circulates around the globe. And so I've been asking, if you run as fast as you can, would you be able to escape the atmosphere that is surrounding you? You can, right? So whatever you do, you cannot escape the grace of God. But you can do something to prevent yourself from enjoying it. But it's not because God has stopped from blessing you. It doesn't mean God has changed and He's no longer surrounding you with His love, with His presence, with His grace, and with His goodness. We continue. It says, all who choose to breathe this life-giving atmosphere will live and grow up to the stature of men and women in Jesus Christ. So the air is there, grace is all around us in an abundant fashion, but we need to breathe it in every single day of our lives. Then we get to enjoy its impact and its effect in our lives. There is, at all times and in all circumstances, an immeasurably powerful, unfathomably wise, unconditionally loving, ever-present, all-embracing, and maximally effective reality continuously at work, upholding your well-being and your joyful purpose in this life. So what we need is the spirit of wisdom and revelation. That's why we have this prayer, open my eyes, Lord. I want to see Jesus. Open my eyes, Lord. I want to see the grace that has been surrounding me all the time. So if we connect this with evangelism, like we go to remote places, right? And many times in our minds we have this mindset, I'm going to bring God to those people in the remote places. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what evangelism is. Evangelism, when you go to that remote place, it is to introduce to these people the God that has always been there. They just don't know it. Okay? So when you witness, you're not bringing God to people. Because the reason they were born, and the reason they have rain, and the reason there's air, and the reason there's trees is because God has been there all the time. So when we evangelize, it is showing people the God who has always been with them all the time. So it's the abundance mindset. So we can operate from, instead of a deficit mode, we operate from an overflow mode when we understand there's this abundance that we can tune into. It's not something we manufacture. It's something we tune into. It's already a reality. So what we need are eyes that are open to this reality of the rule of grace, the reign of grace, the governance of grace, or this rulership of the grace of God. So that's just an addition to the number 2, okay, competency. I'm going to go to number 3. Where's number 3? Come on. Okay. All right. So, what is a very important mindset and tool so that we can become, we can continually become the best version of ourselves? And I call this exercising mental and emotional responsibility. And let's try to see it from this perspective, from the perspective of stress. Okay, here is a mindset that's important to understand. Let's read what's written on the slide. The same stressor or event that is distress to one person could be eustress to another person. Okay, so when you go to Hawaii, okay, we have many people from Hawaii. Like if you're near a beach and you never, it's not your environment, right? And then for the first time, you're in this beautiful beach. And you have, it's the season where you have huge waves, like 10-foot waves. What are you going to feel when you see 10-foot waves? Like they're going to slam on you. You feel what? You feel scared, you feel frightened, you feel terrified, right? So when you say 10-foot waves, they're scary. But what could be scary to you is not scary to others. Right? So some surfers are actually waiting for 30-foot waves. And they're saying, oh man, it's 10-foot waves again. Where are the 30-foot waves? So what is distress to one person? It can be eustress to another person. So here's an example. You have a traffic situation and it has not moved for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. What's the feeling? Are there angry people in such traffic? 1 person, 2 people, 3. Allah. Okay? In such a traffic situation, right? Are there frustrated people? Few or a lot? A lot. Are there anxious people? A lot, right? But in the same traffic situation where it has not moved for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, are there happy people? What do you think? Visit the Philippines, okay? Because when you visit the Philippines, we have happy people in the midst of the traffic, like this guy selling bottled water or selling peanuts, right? They don't want the traffic to move because it's an opportunity and a chance to do business. Okay, so you're saying, oh, because it's outside of the car. But are there happy people inside their cars? Let's see. How about this person? Okay, let's try. So this guy heard the traffic won't be moving in another 4 hours and said, yes, I need 4 more hours of sleep. So he goes there. Or this guy, this guy, he'll be doing a recital and he hasn't practiced enough. So he said, yes, I can have 4 hours more of practice. Okay? And how about this person? Oh, I did not do my exercise yet. Yes. Thanks for the traffic. I can do my exercise. And who's the happiest in a non-moving traffic? Who do you think? Oh, okay. The newly the newly engaged maybe. Okay, they might say, oh, we don't care. Even if the traffic never moves. Right? So it's the same situation. Some people are happy. Some people are unhappy. So the same stressor that can be a happy event for one person, it can be a distressful event for another person. Now, so let's move on. The distress or eustress. When you say distress, this would be the negative kind of stress. And eustress would be the positive kind of stress. It's not determined or caused by stressors, events, or people. It's not the traffic situation. It is not the event. So, for example, you have a Coke of can. And there's a person who loves Coke. And there's this Coke of can and it's cold. And I like that, I like that. If you go to this person and you ask him, do you want this? And say, yes. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. I'll even open it for you. But I have to shake it first. So you shake it with all of your might. And you're going to open it right in front of him. What will the person do? Run away, right? Because if you open it, after you shake it, what's going to happen? It's going to explode. It's going to burst, right? Okay, but if you get a bottled water and you give it to that same person, but you shake it as hard as you did with a Coke in can, will the person run away? No. And why is that? Because even if you open it, would there be a burst that's going to happen? No, right? So take a look at this. This is a lesson which we can learn from. The forceful shaking that built high pressure in the Coke in can was the same one. Forceful shaking which the bottled water went through. But the Coke in can, there was a burst. But the bottled water, it was just chill. So look at the last line. What does the last line say? It's not the adversity. It's what you're made of. It's not the situation. It's not the circumstance. It's not the stressor. It's not the event. It is what you're made of. Because if it's a traffic situation, then there will be a uniform response of all the people, of everybody. But because there's a difference, that means what is causing it, it is not the event, it is not the situation, it's not the circumstance, it is not the adversity, but it is the kind of person that is in that situation. So just go to your kitchen, and you can see this in your kitchen. The boiling water that softens the potato is the same boiling water that what? That hardens the egg. It's the same kettle. It's the same temperature. It's the same heat. It's the same boiling water. What happens to the egg? It hardened. What happened to the potato? It softened. It's not the heat. It's what you're made of. Okay, so are we learning something? Okay, here's some more. To make it simpler, okay, we're just trying to hit it from different angles. Your attitude and emotions, such as feeling mad, irritated, sour, bitter, bad trip, or stressed out. You ever felt any of these? One time, two times? Okay. So all of these emotional responses, they are not caused by other people's wrong behavior. They are not caused by negative circumstances. They are not caused by hurtful events. If you have experienced those responses, okay, they're not caused by the list that we have on the slide. People's wrong behavior, hurtful events, or negative circumstances. They do not make you mad, vengeful, bitter, sour, or stressed out. No, 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 no. You are feeling mad, bitter, sour, upset, or stressed out together with a loud voice. Because you have allowed yourself to become that kind of person who becomes angry or upset in that situation. Because other people have been in the same situation, but they had a different response because it was a different kind of character or person that they developed within them. Okay, so we have allowed ourselves to have mindsets, to have beliefs, to have expectations, to have evaluations, to have perceptions, and to have assessments. And those assessments, okay, which we have memorized over time, is what have been causing our emotions. I have something here with me. I have an orange. Is this an orange? Yeah, okay. So some oranges are sweet. Is that right? Some oranges are sour. So there's a sour variety, there's sweet variety. So question, this particular piece of orange, is it sweet or sour? We don't know, right? We don't know. You can only guess, but we don't know. So how would you know? You have to taste it. What do you do in order to taste it? You have to cut it in half, right? So I have here with me a knife. Okay. So what we're going to do? We're going to cut it in half. Can you see it? Oh man. So it was cut in half, right? And then we squeeze it. And the juice, right? It goes all over the place, and some of the juice reaches your mouth. And as soon as it reached your mouth, your face went like this. So do we have a sweet orange or a sour orange? It seems like it's a sour orange, right? Okay. So this particular fruit, which we cut in half, we squeezed it, and you were able to taste it, and you perceived it to be sour. So we have a sour fruit. It comes from a sour variety. Okay? Now here's the question. If this fruit is sour, my question is this. Before we cut it in half, and before we squeeze it, was it already sour or not yet? Was it already sour or not yet? Before the cutting. Oh, again, okay? So we have a fruit. We don't know if it's sweet or sour. And you said, we have to taste in order to know. So we cut it in half. And then we squeeze it. And you taste it, it's sour, right? So the question, before the cutting and the squeezing, was it already sour or not yet? Already sour, right? Okay, now, if it was already sour before the cutting and the squeezing, that means it was the cutting and the squeezing that made it sour. Because before the cutting, it was already sour. So why was it sour? Because that's its variety, right? That's what it is. That's the property. So what are we saying? So listen. When somebody says to you cutting remarks, okay? And you are placed in like crushing situations, and sour words come out of you, a sour attitude comes out of you. It is not the cutting remarks that were said to you that were the cause of the sour words or the sour character. Okay, all right. Okay, that means, right, just like our illustration, before the cutting and the squeezing, there was already what? Sourness inside. Okay? So other people don't make you a sour person. Other people do not cause a sour attitude. So if we're going to take a look at this, okay, let's read this together. The sharp words people swing at us, or the crushing pressure of hurtful situations, do not make us bitter, sour, resentful, angry, or stressed out. They simply what? They simply reveal what we're made of, what's inside of us all along, what we've chosen to become so far. Okay? So it's not because of your dad. It's not because of your mom. It's not because of your family. It's the kind of character that we have developed through the beliefs and through the values and interpretations we have chosen to embrace in our lives. So I'm walking with a cup of coffee, and we bumped into each other, and something spilled out. What spilled out? Why not milk? Because it's coffee inside, right? Okay, because that's what was inside. So what are we saying? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Okay? Out of the abundance of the heart. So whatever is inside, when there is a situation, when there's an adverse event, it will only reveal what has been there all the time. So it's not the circumstance, it's not the situation, it's not the event that is causing or creating our bitter attitude, our feeling of emotional upset or emotional grievance or emotional disturbance, but the kind of person we have allowed ourselves to become. So, just to make it clear, no stressor, no event or people's action, no matter how hurtful or crushing, has any power whatsoever to create a sour or bitter attitude in you. They don't have that power. It does not work that way. Okay? They don't have that power, whether it's an external event or whether it is the action of another person. But what if what he did was really foul, okay? Isn't he the cause of my outburst and anger? Okay, so we're going to sort out something. People can cause you what? What else? What else? And what else? So definitely, people can cause you pain, loss, injury, and wounds, because we have pain receptors, right? So if somebody punches you, you have a pain receptor, and so that will be interpreted by the brain that there is something adverse, harmful, or injurious that's happening, and you have a pain signal, and you can see that from the brain scan. So people can cause you pain. People can cause you loss. They can burn your house, so you lose your home. They can do something to your family member, and you lose a family member. They can cause you injury, a broken bone. They can cause you wounds. But here is where it's very important to understand. But people cannot create in you what? Misery, what else? Resentment, what else? Hostility, and what else? Bitterness. So we don't conflate the pain, the loss, the injury, and the wounds with our emotional response. The emotional response is a result of your interpretation and perception and evaluation and assessment of the event that caused pain, loss, injury, and wound. Okay? They're not two things. So the person is responsible, is the cause of the pain, the loss, and the injury. But the consequent emotional response, that is of our own making. That is what we're responsible for. Okay? Now you do it on the flip side. People can cause you pleasant signals, right? So if you're a massage therapist and you come behind me and you do some like the moves, right? And because you have pleasure signal or pleasure receptors, and it's very pleasant, okay? And it relaxes the muscles. People can do that to you. So people can cause you pleasant signals. What else? Profit or gain. So you can give your bank account number to Elder Don, right? And he puts some funds in there. So he can cause you profit. He can cause you gain. You can give inheritance to your children. So you can give, you can cause gain or profit to another person. You can cause safety. You can give companionship to another person. But people cannot create in you what? Happiness, what else? Delight, what else? Peace, what else? Fulfillment. It will be your interpretation and evaluation and perception of the event or of the action of other people that will determine your emotional response. Okay, so we're trying to make this clear. So you have this ABC model or ABC theory, where A stands for the activating event. That's the situation, that's the circumstance, that's the stressor. Then we jump to C. What is C? That's the consequent emotions. That's your feeling of distress or your feeling of eustress. Now, many people, the default understanding for many is that whatever they're feeling, the cause of C is A. So why are you angry? Oh, it's because of my husband, what he did. So why are you upset? Oh, my children, they did this, so I'm upset. And so for many people, it is the event that is causing the emotional upset, disturbance, or grievance. But the fact of the matter is there's what you call the B. And what's the B? That's the belief system. The belief system is where your perception comes from. This is where perception is. That's where evaluation and assessment is. That's the inference where it's happening. So if you see the event as a threat, as a risk, as a peril, as a danger to something that which is important to you, then the emotional response would be distress. Okay? But whatever the event, even if it's the same event, but you see it as an opportunity, you see it as a chance to become a better person, to become a wiser person, to become a more loving person, then as unpleasant as some of the feelings are, there is hope, there is confidence, there is optimism, there is peace in your heart. So what is causing your emotions is not what happened, it's not the event, it's your belief about it. Okay? So, in short, to make it like everyday language, okay? The everyday language for that is this slide. Let's read this slide together. People don't make you feel what you feel. You make yourself feel what you feel. Okay, we're not talking about sensations because sensations it's physiological, right? We have pain receptors and we have pleasure receptors. What we're talking about is the emotional response, that kind of feeling. So people don't make you feel what you feel. So whether it's misery or anger or bitterness or happiness or joy, it's not people who make you feel like that. But many times we say, oh, I'm just so happy. My husband always makes me feel happy. Okay, my wife always, or my children always makes me feel calm or peaceful. But let me see if we have this slide. Okay, so let's take a look at our language. We use the language, or we use sentences like, he made me angry, he made me upset, or COVID-19 worried me, she stressed me out. Are these familiar sentence constructions? Right? Oh, you made me upset again. Hey, you made me sad again. All you do is to make me unhappy. That's how we talk. That's how many people talk. But when that's the way you talk, what you don't realize, what you're actually saying is this. So what are you saying? People or events are in control of my feelings. I am not in charge of my thoughts and emotions. Because look at the sentence. She made me upset. So who's the cause of the upset? She. Right? She made me upset. So it's not in your control. You don't have a say as far as to what feelings you like because it's in other people's hand. It's like the remote control. You want to watch channel 20, but you don't have the remote in your hand, so you're at the mercy of the person who has the remote. Okay? So if in the same way you are saying, he made me upset, all you do is to make me unhappy, what we're saying, we're not in control. And that's not all you're saying. What's number 2? I have no choice but to be angry or stressed out. I don't have any choice but to be miserable. I don't have any choice but to be emotionally upset. What else are you saying? I cannot be happy even if I want to. Because it depends on the other person. If other people make you happy, so if they don't do that which makes you happy, you will never be a happy person. Okay? And the saddest thing about that is this. Let's read this, the last one. I am a puppet, the ultimate slave of the people and events who control my feelings and emotions. So you want to be a happy person? Forget about it if you believe it's other people who are causing your emotions. But if you know, and if you believe, and if you're convinced that you are the creator, you're the determinant, and you're the author of your emotions, that is good news, because people don't have to change in order for you to be happy. You only have to change. And you can choose to be the happiest person you want to be every single day of your life. Because the remote is in your hand. So what's making you unhappy or happy, it's not other people, it's you. So if you're causing your happiness, stop causing your unhappiness. You start doing things that will cause you joy. But because we think, it's other people who causes it. So you're waiting for your husband to change. You're waiting for your children to change. You're waiting for your circumstances to improve. And if they change, if they improve, then you'll be a happier person. No. It's your interpretation, your perception, and your assessment of what people do that ultimately will determine and cause your emotional response. Pain is what? Inevitable. Misery is optional. Have people caused you pain in the past? If not yet, just wait. It's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. But people cannot make you miserable. People cannot make you resentful. People can only cause you loss, a wound, or a damage. But being miserable, that's our job. We do that to ourselves. People don't inject emotional upset in us. They don't magically put emotional upset in us. They don't foist these feelings in us. We create them by our perception, interpretation, and evaluation. How about this? Being hurt is something it can't stop from happening, but being miserable is always your choice. Then choose differently, right? Isn't this good news? If being miserable is always your choice via your thoughts, perceptions, evaluations, and beliefs, then you work on your beliefs, work on your perceptions, work on reframing, work on the stories you tell about who others are, what life is, and who you really are that are more congruent with the truth. So, here is our intervention. Can you see that line, the blank line? You will put your name there, okay? You'll put your name there. So we're going to read this aloud together. When we say I, you reach the blank, just say your name. Then we just finish it, okay? On your mark, let's read this together. 1, 2, 3, and go. I, Richard, declare that my family members, friends, and all others are not responsible for my emotional responses. Moreover, I declare that events and circumstances do not cause my emotional response of anger, sadness, or joy. I am angry, afraid, sad, or happy because I have allowed myself to develop and become that kind of person who will be angry, afraid, sad, or happy in such a situation. I am who I am today because of the choices I made yesterday. And I'll be who I'll be tomorrow because of the choices I make today. Congratulations to your emotional independence. All right? Okay? Congratulations to your emotional independence. Because many times our emotions are dependent on how people act, how people behave. But you have agency, you have the power of will, you have the power of choice. You're a rational, free, moral being. Okay? And if you use that correctly, if you use that constantly, consistently, in congruence with the truth, then you will have a different emotional experience. The mental health implication, let's go past this. I just want to share the last one. So we did 2 this morning. We'll do 1 more and then we end, okay? So let's see. Let's read the first paragraph. Whatever others think, feel, say, or do to you, it is 100% totally, completely, entirely not about you. It's about them. Woo, right. Okay, let's read the next paragraph. What does it say? If someone tells you you're stupid, it's not about you. It's about their ignorance, blindness, confusion, and incongruent thinking regarding your essence, identity, and true worth. Okay? Let's see what's on the next slide. I like this next slide. It's actually the same thought. Let's read the first paragraph. Nothing people think, feel, say, or do to you is because of you. It's because of them. The explanation? They are manifesting or projecting their inner world. Their hardwired beliefs, programmed values, cherished views, ingrained attitudes, and automatic perceptions and reactions. Okay? So, in the same manner, if people don't make you feel what you feel, you make yourself feel what you feel, it is also true, you don't make other people feel what they feel. They make themselves feel what they feel. What they're feeling is the result of the kind of personality, character, and temperament which they have developed. And what they're feeling is not because of what you did. It's because of their interpretation and perception of your actions. Okay? So, if your boss is upset with you, and you say, "Oh, my boss is he's just very, very angry. I made him upset with my performance." No, you didn't. He made himself upset with your performance. You may have been the cause of the loss and the damage to the company, but you did not create misery and upset in your boss. He created that. But you're still answerable, okay? And you're still accountable to your wrongdoings. But you're not the creator, the determinant, or the author of the feelings of the adult people around you. Okay, but let's continue this. Okay. When you feel offended and resent someone who tells you you're stupid, it's because you have already irrationally made something that is 100% not about you to be what? To be about you. You took personally something that is completely not about you to be about you, and it is creating this emotional upset in you. So even if there's a group of people and they're talking, they're gossiping, okay, and you heard your name being mentioned, even if you're the topic of their conversation, it's not about you. It's about their character. It's about their state it's about their state of mental health. It's about their level of maturity. They can only talk about people. So it's not about you. Even if a person gets a gun and tries to shoot you, bang! It's not about you. It's about the insanity of the other person. Okay? You can take legal action, but it is not about you. It's about the other person's state of mind. So we don't take it personally, right? We don't take offense because it's not about us. And we just do what is the wisest thing to do. We just do what is the most loving thing to do. We can pursue legal remedy, but we're not doing it out of hatred. We're not doing it out of vengeance. We're not doing it out of anger. It's simply the best thing to do. So we are not reactive. We are responsive. We are responding to the essence of the other person. The person is in a state of being lost at that time. So, mental health implications, this awareness, it removes the tendency to take things personally. And why is that? Because it's not about you. It removes the need to be defensive and to react to other people's reactions. And why is that? Because it's not about you. It explains the cause of one's pain, loss, or injury, but removes the reason to be resentful, angry, and bitter to one's offender. And why is that? Because what they did to you is not about you. Okay? So they're the cause of the loss, the damage, and the pain, but they are not the creator of your resentment. So this is helping out. This awareness allows the freedom to be oneself and no longer afraid or anxious of what people think or say, because their opinions is completely and 100% not about you but about them. Sometimes people are asking for your suggestions, and you're not sharing what you have in mind because they might laugh at you. But if they laugh at you, it's not about you. It's about them. Okay? They are not yet in that level where they appreciate the opinions of other people. So you can have that kind of freedom. And this awareness allows the freedom to be accepting and understanding of others. And why is that? Because your energy and focus is no longer directed to defend or protect your worth, since what people do is not about us at all. And our worth in the first place is undiminishable. So your energy is not being used to protect your reputation or your worth. That cannot decrease. That cannot be diminished. And you don't have to react because it's not about you. So you have time to listen. You have time to understand. You have time to respond. If we understand that whatever people think about you, do to you, feel about you, or say to you, it is 100% not about you. But here's my last slide. Okay? There's a flip side. Let's read this aloud. Similarly, if people tell you, you're amazing, it's not about you. Because even if they don't say it, you are amazing. You're a miracle. You're a wonder. You're a marvel. But because you never tell that to yourself, you are waiting for people to say it. You want what others are saying to be about you. But it's not about you. It is about this image or thought in their minds, and you just resemble that thought or that image, and that's why they say, you're amazing. And tomorrow they can say, you're stupid. And then you get angry. So don't make the opinions of other people the source or the ground of your worth, of your happiness. Because they can change anytime. Just be happy when they say, you're amazing. Maybe they have come to know that you're a miracle, a wonder, and a marvel. So you look at that slide, it says it's about their projection, their mental image of what is amazing, which you brought to their awareness, or their congruent thinking regarding your identity, essence, and true worth as a person. So don't take it personally. Okay? But be appreciative. They have thoughts that are congruent with who you are in truth. But what's important, don't wait for other people to say it. Every single day, remind yourself, be thankful, be amazed. God, thank you. I'm a miracle. I'm a wonder. I'm a marvel. Be exuberant. Okay? Be inspired, because that is true of you every single moment of each day. And when you're in that status and position and mode, wow, you're just in a position to bless others. You're just in a position to make a difference and to create an impact in the lives of other people. So number 5, that's for another time. Okay, number 5, number 6, number 7. Because I do these I do these workshops like 3 full days. Okay, and we have the practices and the activities and the sharing, just to allow it to sink in, to get absorbed. But for the time that we have, at least we had this introduction of some of the skill sets, the mindsets, the practices that helps you become the best version of yourself, either spiritually, that is bearing the fruit of the Spirit, or mentally and emotionally, that is you have emotional resilience, you have stress mastery, you have authentic happiness, you have this high degree of differentiation of self, and many, many others. Okay, so thank you, everyone. It was a great time being with you all. Thank you for having us. Really, really, we're very grateful, and because we were here in 1995, right? And it's 2024, so just one more year, and that's 30 years. 30 years. But it's just like how time flies, right? But thank you for this precious time together with you all. I hope we'll be back again sooner than later, and just enjoy your fellowship, enjoy just being with you. Miracles, wonders, and marvels. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and have a blessed Sabbath day.